teacher will the teacher will change.
No, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good, Tim. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to put it up on share screen. This is exactly what I was thinking you guys could do, and you did a great job. So there you are, Mr. Tim. Read your very concise story. By the way, Tim, you should capitalize everybody. You should capitalize your story. Put a big S there. My story with the titles. You guys should always be all capital letters for your titles.
Teacher.
Yes,
Very
Tim.
nice description. The Nobel Prize winning American author named Ernest
Hemingway. Yeah, he wrote in your style.
Do I have a Nobel Prize?
You could if you keep working. Maybe in 30 years, Tim. You're about 10 years old now, so you'll be 40 years old. You can take the prize. Your writing style is very sharp, concise. You don't waste any words. Okay, so here you go. Please read.
Yesterday it was a stormy day. Since I woke up, I heard raindrops hitting the roof of my house. At 8 a.m. when I was studying English, 10 a.m. when I was studying English and doing assignments, the internet suddenly disappeared. I could not do. Oh no! I used contractions.
Yeah, you want to make it sharp with no contractions, Tim. Very good.
I could not do my work anymore. My mother network broadcast to me and I could finish my work using her connection. The password was very long, so my mother changed the password. My computer saved the old one, but it didn't save the new one.
Oh, Tim, contraction.
Oh, no!
All right, there you go.
Too much contraction.
Yeah.
That's why my...
Hey. Teacher didn't catch these, Tim. I went through your work too fast. Okay, there you go.
That is why my computer lost the internet. After class, I wanted to play games. The internet is unstable, so my father gave it a try. My father succeeded on fixing the internet, so Billy and I could play our favorite game. At noon, my family ate sushi with all the foods remaining in house. Rice, meat, eggs, and vegetable soup. In the afternoon, my mother went to the supermarket. She bought some spaghetti and some fruit. For dinner, she cooked us spaghetti. After that, we ate some fruit. At night, the storm was the strongest. It rained a lot and the wind blew the door. Outside was dangerous, but at home it was comfortable. I will not forget this unforgettable experience.
Nice. The wind blew, let's say at the door is good there. So Tim, yeah, excellent. It's right to the point. There's no thing in there. Naked, what do you think?
I think it was good, and you mentioned the author Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
I remember he was the one who wrote The Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah. He wrote that was one of his late stories in the 1950s, Naked, when he lived in Cuba. But then he had to leave Cuba in 1958, 1959, because Cuba was going its own communist revolution like Vietnam, and it wanted to break away from America. So Hemingway was disappointed. You know, Naked, he was one of those rich Americans who owned a nice sailboat or yacht, and he enjoyed drinking rum and smoking cigars and fishing.
Teacher.
Yes.
I was too lazy, so I couldn't make the
what?
Wait me a minute, please.
All right. Think about it, Tim. All right. I want to pick another one here. So, Tim, this is excellent work. I'm going to save that. Tim, save your writing, by the way, because it's a good record to keep, and you can actually give these as school assignments, too, if you want. I want to do Naked, your second one you did, Naked. You did 2 homeworks because we had a 2-week break. So thanks for working so hard, Naked. Let me see which one it is. It's the one I just checked today, Naked. So
teacher.
Yes,
I was so lazy, so I couldn't do the. So I can't do the.
I was so lazy I couldn't do.
Encryption.
Encryption. Oh no, did you need to encrypt these? Tim, why did you need to encrypt them? I don't understand.
Because the hackers couldn't hack.
The what?
The
The
hackers.
what? The hackers. Oh, so the hackers couldn't hack. Do we have a hacking problem here? Someone pretends to be a hacker. It's kind of shocking. I don't think we've ever been hacked.
I was encryption my name.
Do you think someone's going to steal your work? I'm trying to find Nakin's number 2, you guys, but this is really taking a long time to get to the bottom. Come on. Sometimes Yalo just keeps bouncing like a baby ball. Come on. Yalo. Yes. Hey, Bone, what? I'm trying to find, we have this scary crocodile. That was a long time ago, down to the very end. Okay, so here someone was in the typhoon. There. Spooky. Spooky, you have a pretty cool story too. This is Tim. Here's Spooky, and Nakin should be coming soon. Mr. Nakin, story number 2, Spooky. Nakin. Nakin, this is very good. Here we go. And I'm going to
Nakin.
Nakin, because Nakin for some reason did 2, but that's fine because he has interesting things to say in his writing. Hey, Nakin, do you want to try at Jake's house?
Okay.
Hey, John, good to see you. And Zoom, good to see you. Are you ready, Nakin?
Do I need to read the titles up there?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the title's up there. Okay, and I put it all in capital, or you did that yourself, so thank you.
Yeah, the mystery of the disappearing video game. So the characters are Jake, James, and Alec, and the setting is at Jake's house. Yeah. Once lived 3 friends called Jake, James, and Alex. Their hobbies were to play detective and other games. One day, a new video came out and the triplets quickly ran to the nearest store to buy it. But when they inquired of the owner, "Do you know about the new video game, The Case?" he cried that somebody broke into my store and stole it. I contacted the police, but they said they will not have time for such a small matter. They looked at each other and announced, "Well, if they're not gonna help, we will." The owner thanked them. The boy immediately started looking around for clues. Suddenly, a noise startled the triplets. It turns out it was Cap, the owner's cat. Then something caught Alex's eyes and an idea sparkled in his mind. He followed Cap into the cat's room and searched around. After a while, he found what he needed. He exited the room with the video game and the amazed eye of his friend. Jake stuttered, "Whoa, where did you find that?" He replied, Well, while I was searching for some clues, I saw an orange hair but did not pay much attention to it. Then when Cap showed up, I got a hunch that he must have some connection to this crime." James added, "Oh, so you went into Cap's room and searched there instead." The owner thought for a moment and spoke up. "Well, since you helped me find it, I sell it for you with a discount." The boys thanked the owner and brought the case, returning home in a happy mood.
Yeah, and so I'm going to put that there. I will sell it to you with a nice discount. Okay, nice work. And Nakin, the thing I said is you used cried, you used announced, you used startled. You're using these really good sparkled in his mind. You're using really good words to replace said and says and tell. You're using much more difficult verbs, which is perfect. That's what I want you guys to do, right? And so, yeah, really nice. Thanks. All right, you're welcome. All right, you guys. And I'll stop that share. Let me just save Nakin's work because I made some more corrections on that. And we'll save that. And Mr. John, you had a question for a long time. What's going on, John?
Actually, I found 2 mistakes in Nakin's work.
Oh, shall we go back to it and correct these terrible mistakes?
If you want to.
Naked, are you gonna let him correct your work? Let's
It's
check it
fine.
one. All right. Let's check it one more time, Mr. John, and you can correct Nakin's work. Now you have to do this politely. You don't want to get Nakin upset. All right, show us.
No, of course not.
What are you gonna show us, Nakin? I
It's
mean, John, what are you gonna show us?
it's the second sentence.
Here,
So the one day a new video game, not a new video game.
a new video came out is okay.
Uh,
A new video
Video
game came
game.
out. Ah, I see what you mean. Okay, there you go. Thanks, John. That's
and
one.
then another at the end.
Okay, at the end.
So, I will sell it to you with a nice discount.
With
Oh
the
yeah,
nice,
I found that too.
yeah, because the owner is Italian and Italian people. I will sell it to you for a nice discount. That's how they speak English. I'm just joking. John, nice work. And you were polite about it. So thank you, Nakin. Thank you, John. Wonderful work, you guys. Not so bad. Actually, really good work, Nakin. So let me save that for you because that's done. And Mr. Lewis has a question.
Teacher, can I have a chance to read my writing?
Oh, yeah, you're going to change your Wi-Fi?
No, I said can I have a chance to read my writing?
Oh, a chance to read it. Yeah, let me get it ready here, Lewis. Now, Lewis, I made two folders and I'm having a difficult time finding this. So let me just make sure I have this here. I put a new class and Saturday in the same folder, you guys. So I have like 30 names and I have to find Lewis. I have Liam here. I have Fu. Lewis, you come in under Kong though, right? You use your mom's account because it's always Lee Kong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go to Yalo and find it. It's easier to find it in Yalo. And what's good about Yalo is it records all the mistakes. So I just have to find Mr. Bone, the greedy fisherman, the greedy fisherman. That's kind of a cool story. The trip, the most beautiful Ellis. The Great Mystery was by Nakan #1. Mr. Liam, John 11 from Hanoi. Pichan, which I always forget who the student Pichan, and there's Bone. And then there's the greedy fisherman. That's Tom. Tom, that one's funny. All right. Hey, Lewis, here you are. I found it. And oh, yeah, Lewis, this is excellent because there were no mistakes in this, really. That was most impressive. So, one moment, please. I have too many things open here and I have to get my desktop a little bit cleaner, you guys. So, one moment. All right. And here we go, Lewis. Is it this one here? Well, I don't need to do that. That's the original Zalo. 1 second, I have to stop and think about this. Where did Lewis's work go? There it is. And it's called The Trip, right, Lewis? The Trip.
Yeah, it's
okay. The Trip. All right, here you go, Lewis. Nice work.
Yeah. The trip to one of the most beautiful mountains in the world. In September last year, my Nepalese friend Paul and I had an amazing experience in Fuji Mountain. On the third Sunday, we had talked about our trip schedule in Japan. After packing our luggage, we took a nap during the afternoon because the plane would depart at 3 a.m. So we didn't want to miss our vacation by sleeping. At 2 a.m., we booked a taxi to take us to the airport. After a long journey, we finally arrived in Tokyo, the capital of Japan. The first thing we did there was shopping on one of the clothes and sneaker stores in Japan was insane and impressive. Bro, I've really fallen in love with Japanese footwear, Paul said, and I strongly agree with him. Yeah, those things are crazy. After 2 days of shopping and learning about Japanese culture in Tokyo Center, we moved to Yamanashi by bullet train. Yamanashi was a city famous for its peaceful and the Fuji Mountain. The next day, we met up with our tourist guide and we started trekking to the top of Fuji Mountain. My friend Paul was born in a village in Nepal Mountain, so he speaks now the mountain so much he hiked as fast as the wind. After 5 hours journey on foot, we finally reached the top of Fuji Mountain. The top of the mountain was always filled with snow. If watching down, I could see a lot of attractive small towns through the cloud. The scenery on Fuji Mountain was lovely and calm. Those memories were always make me feel incredible.
Nice work, Lewis. Let me see. This is kind of difficult here. Change, Lewis. You could say in the Nepalese mountains. So this is a cool story because Paul was actually born in the Nepalese mountains. So Lewis, do you think that Fuji was kind of easy for him?
Yeah, I think he will match with the Everest Mountain.
Hey, Lewis, when did you do this trip? Was it this year or last year?
No, last year.
Okay, because the Japanese government is now lowering the number of people who can climb Fuji because the trails up Fuji are getting dirty with trash and there too many people are climbing at once and it's making some problems. So now the Japanese government wants to lower the number of people who can climb Fuji. It's kind of interesting. So nice work, Lewis. I didn't put many corrections on this because it was very good work. So thank you
Thank you.
for your hard work. You're welcome. Hey, Dung, I found your work. Would you like to read it, Mr. Dung?
Yeah.
Okay, and you just handed this in, but I liked it. I just read it. And again, there are almost no mistakes in this, Dung. So one moment, please. And I will put this on share. And here we go. I think it's Mr. Dung. Okay, Dung, here you go.
The sun was slowing down and the sky turned to a golden yellow. A tired traveler walked up to a fisherman fixing his nets. Nice evening, isn't it? The traveler said, wiping his forehead full of sweat. The fisherman smiled. Yes, this part of the ocean is great for fishing. Here for the sunset. I'm just walking by. What are you catching? Just some fishes. The fisherman laughed. Fishes here are really delicious. They keep both my wallet and my stomach full. So you are a fisherman? The traveler asked, curious. No, actually, I'm just a normal office worker. The fisherman replied, I've enjoyed fishing ever since I was a kid. And also, other stuff like this will make me occupied all the afternoon. And sometimes selling fishes at the market help me make some extra money. The traveler looked at the sky. You're right. Maybe I should also take up fishing when I get back home. Exactly. Want to try to catch one? The fisherman asked, holding up a small catch. It's really simple. Sure.
Hey, this is really good, Dung. It's excellent because look at all this dialogue. That's exactly outside. I was telling you guys to put more dialogue in, and you put some great dialogue. I changed this one to curiously. Usually you say the traveler asked curiously, but this is excellent work, Dung. Really nice. So thank you for your hard work. All right, I'm going to save that, you guys. All right, and stop that share. Mr. John, you have a question, or would you like to read your stuff, or what?
I want to read my work, please.
Of course, you're proud of your work, and you should be, you guys.
There are two.
Hey, it's Mr. Tom. What's going on?
Oh wow, my phone.
My what?
My microphone finally spoke.
Oh, hey, John. Tom, were you in that typhoon?
No, I'm in Nha Trang. I am good.
Safe in Nha Trang. That's good. It's a beautiful beachside
I
place.
just have a bad feeling for Kevin being in the storm.
Oh, yeah. His mom said the power went out, so Kevin couldn't join us. And I always enjoy Kevin. He's always an interesting guy. Kevin's a sweet boy because he reminds me of this man I used to talk to when I was a child. He was about 65 years old and he was just like Kevin. So sometimes I think Kevin is like a little old man, we say in English.
The old man.
The old man. All right. Hey, I'm looking for Mr. John, who got his homework in very early. So sometimes.
Let's go to Sean. So I don't know which Sean.
Tom, you are the greedy fisherman, and Ellis is here, and John is here. John 11, there it is, John 11, and I corrected it. And so you can see all your corrections, which, John, there weren't so many corrections in here. This is pretty good homework. And here it is. Let's see how much you have. Okay, it's not too long. It's a Harry Potter kind of story, right, John?
Yeah. I
All
was
right.
meant to write more, but I think that's enough.
That's not bad. Nice work. Okay, there it is. The name of this, you left a note. This is a brand new story of Harry Potter and the Mysterious Mansion by John 11 from Hanoi. Here you go, John.
Chapter 1, The Mysterious House. Harry, Ginny, Hermione, and Ron went on holiday. They went to a mysterious mansion after hearing a rumor that Lord Voldemort used to live in it. They want to see who's the bravest. They arrived in the middle of the Forbidden Forest and walked for a little while when they found the mansion. Told you what was there, Hermione says. As they walked deeper into the mansion, Voldemort's voice greeted them. Hello, who are you? Harry knows the passwords because he knows Voldemort's deepest secret. He whispers, I wasn't going to read that because I just made it up. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Sold to a hero worth.
The door opens immediately. Hermione went in first and muttered, Commendam Revelio. Nothing happens. Safe. Nobody's in here. Hermione says as they walk into the hall. Big black spiders greeted them as they were walking. Ron screamed. Ginny says, Ron, you lose. I must let a note here that Ron is really scared of spiders. As they were walking across the hall, they came across the door leading into the backyard. Shall we go in? Ginny asked. I think so, Harry said. There are some chairs around a big lake in there. They checked that the armchairs have nothing strange on them. Lord Voldemort knows how to relax here, and with his little drones, the Death Eaters, he could be a true lord. You reckon there are Inferiors down here? Ron asked, pointing at the small lake. Harry touched the water. As expected, there are a swarm of Inferiors down there. With a switch of her wand, Hermione makes a burst of Felix flame from her wand tip. She knows Inferiors are scared of fires. Harry said, Whoa, Hermione, how do you know Professor Dumbledore's magic? I learned it when I was reading a top-secret book, Hermione answered.
Yeah, nice work, John. Hey, John, I love you this note. You used everything present tense, but that's okay because this is connected to an existing story, Harry Potter. So it's okay, to say Ron asks instead of Ron asked. It's your own story. But in other stories, like I told Bone or I told Macon, try to switch to past tense mostly, unless it's a book report or a book review. Then you guys use what's called the eternal now. I've mentioned it a few times. It's present tense to make something more exciting, is what that is.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So I think that you may not know this, but at the time that they went here,
yes,
Hermione was actually the Minister of Magic.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you know this story so well. This is how you created your own story?
Yeah, and then Harry was the head of the oh no, I don't remember that.
I don't remember. All right, John, that's fine. You did a nice job on that. Is Ellis still here? Ellis, you raised your hand earlier. What did you want to say, Ellis, or did you want to read your work? Ellis always has interesting ideas. Oh, Ellis had to take a break. Are you there, Ellis?
Teacher, there's to Alice.
Oh, hey, Ellis 12, you joined us too. Okay. Hey, Ellis 12, would you like to do some reading for us a little bit later? Because I'll need your help.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a good reader. Okay, you guys, today's lesson, this is really interesting. I worked hard on this and I think you guys will like it, of course. We're going to continue writing these personal narratives, but in tonight's lesson, we're also going to go back to those things called the sight, the sound, all of that stuff. Do you remember smelling and hearing and listening? We did all of that. So we're going to go back to that. And there it is. Okay, good. I have
Yummy.
it. Yummy.
It's cooking.
Okay, cooking. Yeah, you remember you guys described, what did you describe? Restaurants and your kitchens. I remember that. Good memory, Tim. All right. The writing process, part 2, actually, the personal narrative. Ellis, would you like to read this one? Ellis 12.
Yeah, teacher. The writing process, personal narrative. We finished our personal narratives 2 weeks ago, and you all did a great job. I would like the class to try again. This time, you can choose something that really happened recently, or you can choose a fantasy situation. The assignment is different this time because we will go back something important we studied last spring. This is the use of seeing things, smelling things, hearing things, tasting things, and feeling things. The five senses. We then use time order words such as last week or at bedtime 3 nights ago and add some of the five senses to the two paragraphs.
Yeah, I better, thanks, Alice. I better do some corrections here because John's going to get me. We finish our personal narrative, so I was typing so fast. I would like the class to try it again. This time you can choose something that really happened. The assignment is different this time because we will go back to something. So I have to make that a little bit better, you guys. Brendan made some mistakes in my typing. Someone had a question. Who has a question? Anyone have a question so far? So we're going to do personal narratives again, but this time with sight, smells, tastes. Now, you can stay in a restaurant or kitchen, but we already did that. So I chose something really different here. Let me just read this first part, and then maybe Ellis 11 can read the next part. So here is a famous short story by the American science fiction writer Ray Bradbury. He wrote science fiction stories from the late 1940s until the early 2000s when he died. He was about 93 years old when he died. He was a great writer. This story is called Rocket Man, but actually I checked the title again. It's called The Rocket Man. It's about a 15-year-old secondary or high school student whose father is the pilot of a rocket ship that travels around the solar system collecting science samples. So we're going to put our tastes and our smells and all of that into here. And so I'm going to give all of this to Ellis 12. Would you like to read this one? Or Ellis 11, would you like to read this part?
Oh no, me.
Wait, Alice,
Yeah, the young boy.
the young boy
Yeah.
whose name
Yeah.
whose name no can hear it. Father, powerful rocket ships in the farmlands of Illinois, my home state. A helicopter then picks up the astronaut pilot, takes him to the town where about 50 kilometers away. The father does not want to wake up the whole small town from the empty night town. Send her back to his house about a kilometer away. You can let the rest for Alice.
Yeah. Okay. Ellis 12, do you want to read? Because she's having microphone problems. So Ellis 12, would you like to read The Boy and His Mom?
Let me see. The boy and his mom.
Yeah.
Okay, teacher. The boy and his mom can hear the sound of the rocket ship, the noise from the helicopter getting closer, and finally the father's shoes as he walks down the quiet late night street back to their house. The mother and son say hello, but then it's time for bed because the pilot is tired and his son has school in the morning. While the parents are sleeping, the boy goes into his father's room very quietly, and he takes a small suitcase from the room. He then goes back to his room where he has his own microscope that he built in school. The boy is in an advanced science class and he knows how to build things all by himself.
Nice, Alice 12. That's excellent reading. Hey, Lewis, would you like to try it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, here you go.
He take out his father's special black spacesuit, which is made of some kind of nanotechnology. The suit protect the father on most planet, and the father collect planet soil sample from each place he visit. The soil of a particular planet like Mars or Venus get on the suit and lift small sample which the boy look at under his microscope. He already very exact quote from the story The Rocket Man.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, Ray Bradbury wrote this, I think, in 1955. And we didn't know that the planet Venus at the surface of Venus, do you guys know how hot Venus is? How many degrees Celsius is it? Celsius. My spelling is not good. How many degrees Celsius? Hey, Tom, do you know? Tom's always laughing. Is he in our class? Hey, Tom.
What?
How many degrees is Venus on the surface of Venus? The Russians sent a rocket ship there, and it only lasted 1 minute. Macon, do you know?
I
I
think
suggest
it's around 464 degrees Celsius.
464 degrees.
let me get
Crazy, and it also has incredible pressure.
1 billion, I guess.
Well, 464 degrees Celsius, Tom, is like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's like putting.
Teacher,
Yes.
if you want to turn to Celsius to Fahrenheit, you plus the Celsius plus 32, divide for 5, and multiply for 9.
Okay, so can you do that? What is 464 degrees in Fahrenheit that we use in America? Does anyone know?
I know it's around
It's 867 degrees
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
so you guys, 800, that's like 2 times more powerful than apple pies and cakes you put in your oven. So the rocket ship from Russia melted like in 90 seconds, but it could actually record the temperature and send it back to the control room in Moscow or Russia, in Kazakhstan, where they had their space. And the Russians went, oh my gosh. Also, the pressure is so heavy on Venus that it crushes things. So when Ray Bradbury wrote this story, he didn't know all of that. So he thinks that this astronaut can go there and collect Earth's, Venus samples with his own hands. It's crazy. It's impossible, you guys.
Teacher,
Yes,
the
Tim.
gravity, the gravity of Venus is only 0.86 of percent of the Earth.
Okay.
I guess.
But find the pressure.
That's not really true, because what I learned is that the bigger the object, the more gravity it has.
Yeah. How about the pressure, Naked?
Wait me a minute.
Pressure is unbelievable on Venus. Like, you send a rocket there, it's going to crush it like a drink.
Imagine using Google.
It's fine. It's all right.
Teacher,
Yes.
why does the rocket is being crushed
I mean,
on
that's
Venus?
1,000.
But it doesn't crush on Earth. The Earth has more gravity than Venus.
I don't know. That's a difficult one. Is it 1,000 times more, Naked?
I found out that the pressure on Venus is 1,350 psi.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's like unbelievably strong. And it's much more pressure than Earth, right? So this story, this story is just fantasy, you guys. Like, it's not true. Hey, John, you have a wonderful reading voice. Can you read this for us here? This is the original cover, and this is the black suit that the astronaut wears. I mean, it could be this is a nanotechnology suit from 100 years from now, and he could go to Venus in this suit, but I don't know. It still sounds kind of unbelievable. But John, here you go.
Okay. And from the open case built his black uniform.
Tom, wait, we gotta listen. Okay, wait, let's listen. Okay, go ahead, John, one more time.
And from the open case spilled his black uniform, like a black nebula, stars glittering here or there, distantly in the material. I netted the dark stuff in my warm hands. I smelled the planet Mars, an ardent smell, and the planet Venus, a green ivy smell, and the planet Mercury, a scent full of sulfur and fire. And I could smell the milky moon and the hardness of the stars. I pushed my uniforms into the centrifuge machine I built in my 9th grade shop that year, set it whirling. Soon, a fine powder precipitated into a retort. This I slid under a microscope. And while my parents slept unaware and while our house was asleep, all the automatic bakers and servers and robot cleaners in an electric slumber were started down upon the brilliant mottos and meteor dust, comet tail, and loam from far Jupiter, glistening like words themselves, which drew me down to the tube a billion miles into space. At
Terrific.
can you put it
Oh,
down a little bit?
Yeah, terrific.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Terrific acceleration.
Yeah. All right. We have a lot of questions. Lewis and Nathan, what are your questions here?
Did you know that planet Venus doesn't have a green ivy smell?
I know.
It's full of methane gas.
It's methane gas, so it smells like really bad, like rotting garbage, Nathan.
Yeah.
So this guy
teacher.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The French ghost smelled like rotten food.
That's probably what Venus smells like. Hey, Lewis, what do you want to say? Lewis had his hand up.
Teacher, the French ghost.
Okay.
I just forgot to took my hand down.
Oh, okay. So you guys, when you knead bread dough, you knead it like this. So for some reason, the boy starts kneading his father's black suit with his hands, and he finds iron powder, and he finds green ivy smell of Venus, which makes no sense, like Nathan said, or methane. Sulfur powder looks like that. John, you got centrifuge right, the centrifuge. Usually you spin small tubes in the centrifuge. The boy puts his father's whole suit into the centrifuge machine. This is loam. It's used for soil. It's earth for gardening and to grow vegetables. It's called loam. Now, he says he found loam on Jupiter. Why do you think that's impossible to find loam on Jupiter, you guys?
How can we use a teacher? How can you
Jupiter
supposed to find?
Wait, let Nathan finish.
Because Jupiter doesn't have a solid surface. It's made of gas.
It's all gas. So how could you find soil on Jupiter? So this is kind of a crazy story, but it's a really nice story too. Okay, Tim, what were you saying? You had some questions.
It's impossible on Jupiter to have soil.
Yeah, that's what Nathan just said because of all the gas. Hey, John, what do you want to say?
Teacher, can I see that yellow powdery stuff up there?
Yeah, sulfur. What do you use sulfur for, John?
I don't know. I don't even know that thing.
Gunpowder. When you see fireworks, it uses sulfur.
It's in the volcano, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's true, Tim, because it has that terrible smell that smells like rotten eggs that have been cooked too long. That's the sulfur smell. So did you guys notice in the story, by the way, he's using smells, he's using vision, he's using touch, he's touching the spacesuit. So he's got three senses there. We don't really hear anything because he's doing it very quietly. And he doesn't taste any of these things because that would be dangerous, like to taste iron powder on your tongue or something. He doesn't do that. Although if you are near, have you guys ever been close to fireworks? Are you in Vietnam? Can you throw fireworks from your hand during the holidays?
Nope.
You can't, Bone? Why not? They're dangerous?
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You can just like put some fireworks in a places and then let them boom out.
Hey, who's writing on the screen? Stop writing on the screen. Tom, no graffiti on the screen, please.
Sorry, just messing up. Sorry.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that, Tom, because what's it doing? It's damaging teacher's lesson. Tom, you guys don't do that.
No, it's not mine. It's not mine.
Remember, this whole lesson is being video recorded, and if I say, "Oh, Miss Duke, at about 10,
Isn't Tom, teacher? Isn't Tom?
All right, well, let's not do it, you guys, because it totally destroys the lesson. Okay, now listen. Sulfur. You can taste sulfur on your tongue when the fireworks go off. You know, you get that smoky in the air. You can actually taste sulfur without having to put it in your mouth. Hey, Lewis, what would you like to say?
Teacher, I have a question that do green ivy have poison?
Does it have poison? Yeah, some ivy is really poisonous, Lewis. So try not to get it on your tongue. Try not to touch it. It can make really bad skin problems. So we have ivy in my garden, and I was wearing long gloves because ivy can give you that's like really painful stuff for like 3 days. It's called poisonous ivy, Lewis. Hey, John, what do you want to say?
I raised my hand in accident.
Okay, so thanks for no. Now, Tim, are you ready? I put a secret joke in here for Tim. Are you ready, Tim?
Yes.
Okay, please read this here.
Our solar system. Can you find Tim's and Billy's house?
Yeah,
It's
where's your
in
house?
Earth.
It's here on Earth. There's Billy and Timmy's house. Nice, you guys. Okay, so did you
teacher.
guys, yes,
Can you find
The
out
Earth.
house?
Tom, can you find your house? Tom, you're getting pretty hot, so I think you're in Mercury. You're pretty close to the sun because you're a
No, I rather the sun. I rather the
child.
smoke. I like burning in there. No, can I don't know what to say. I'm not good in duty for. I'm not good at 5D.
Lewis is a Lewis. Oh my God, he's going crazy. Tell me.
Teacher.
Lewis.
The
Yes.
Earth, the distance between Earth and sun is almost one astronomical unit.
Oh, nice.
One astronomical unit.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Bone, in your schools in Vietnam, do you learn all the planets' names in English?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, can you tell me them? I mean, you can read them here, but what do we have? The closest sun?
So we have the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Yeah, there used to be Pluto, but they took it away. And so when they would teach us in school, they would teach you, do you guys know, my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. That's how you remember the planets' names. So one more time. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Oh, so
Teacher,
you didn't know that,
teacher.
Bone. Your teacher taught you that? Yeah.
Yes.
Teacher, I dare you to find my house across our solar system.
Mr. Alia, you are not in the solar system. You're on this comet and you leave the solar system from sometimes.
No, I'm out of the solar system.
You're out of the solar system completely, Alia. So, by the way, in the thing he looks at,
teacher.
Yes. Tim, your microphone.
The planet Kepler 452b is it's a place where distance from Earth is 4,900 light years. That means you need 4,900 years to come there.
All right. Now here's the dust tail. The astronaut, his father finds the dust tail from the comet. So this means he flies his spaceship close to a comet. I don't know if that's possible, you guys. By the way, this is a standard high school microscope in America. Alice 12, do you use these microscopes at your school?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used one in Taipei and I wear glasses. Is it easy to use the 2 scopes, the 2 eyepieces?
Teacher, like we have a lot of college microscope at school, but like sometimes the scope is really like let us see something really dirty.
Yeah. And so like what? Something gross from an animal or like dust like this?
It's just a bacteria, but the teacher just let us see the bacteria in by the microscope, but like it's gross.
It's gross. Okay. So you guys, we learned all this vocabulary. Bone, would you like to go back and read the story one more time? Because now we know all of these words.
Sure.
And from the open case stole in his black uniform, like a black nebula, stars glittering here or there. Distantly in the material, I kneaded the dark stuff in my broom hands. I smelled the planet Mars, an iron smell, and the planet Venus, a green ivy smell, and the planet Mercury, a scent of sulfur and fire, and I could smell the Milky Moon and the hotness of the stars. I pushed the uniforms into a centrifuge machine I bought in my ninth grade shop that year, set it whirling, soon a fine powder precipitated into a retort. This I slide under a microscope, and while my presence slept anywhere, and while our house was asleep, all the automatic bakers and servers and robot cleaners was in an electric slumber.
Yeah.
I stared down the upfront, brilliant motes of meteor dust, comet tail, and loom from far Jupiter, glistening like worlds themselves, which drew me down the tube a billion miles into space at terrific accelerations.
Nice, Bone. Really good. So, did you guys catch this? He has robot cleaners. Now, he wrote this about 70 years ago. Hey, John, do we have robot cleaners now?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. So, he was right about that. That's kind of cool, huh? So, I thought, oh, that's really interesting. But you
Teacher.
guys, this word slumber means sleeping. So, all the robots are sleeping at night while he does his research. It's kind of cool. All right, who said teacher? Someone had an impression. Who was that said teacher? Somebody said, hey, teacher. Who was that? Okay. So slumber means sleeping. Ellis is doing some kind of dance. Ah! All right. So anyway, there's the original book. It's kind of cool. This is how they made the suit back in the 1950s, but this is a much more modern sci-fi nanotechnology suit. Okay, you guys, we have about 12 minutes. What are you guys interested in writing about? Can you give me some ideas so we can help our fellow students? Remember your story.
CO2, teacher, CO2 equals.
Not math story. Come on, Tim. What do you want to do? John, what do you want to do? Hey, is John here? We have John 11,
Me?
John 12 from
Me, please.
all right, Mr. Tim. What do you want to say? What's your story? What would you like your story to be about?
A hacker is a hacker's a hacker is the sees that my math is so good, so he tried to hack my hacked my
Hack your
math,
brain. Hack your brain.
hack my math online test.
Okay.
So I need to. Oh no, English story.
Yes.
An English story where someone is trying to hack, but I am a math story where someone is trying to hack. My hacker tried to hack. So
There you go, Tim. There's a joke for you. Go ahead,
so
read it.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Tim will save it. We'll save it.
So I found I don't know.
All right, Tim. Hey, Ellis 12. You were making some signals.
Something about
Tim,
something about hiking and Viking.
It's a little joke for you there, Tim. Ellis, you have great story ideas. What would you like to write about?
I like to write about rainbow unicorns and fantasy islands.
Is that a joke? Because they use that in America. Rainbows, unicorns, orcas, kelp forest, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Pink fluffy unicorn dancing.
Fluffy puppies. It's all the soft stuff, Ellis. All the soft stuff. Do you guys understand why that's a joke?
Is someone writing on a screen?
I know they shouldn't be writing on the screen. Very good, Ellis 12. All right, John 11. What would you like to say?
I would write about my super stinky stadium in Madrid, Spain.
It's pneumono ultra microscopic seal volcano.
It maybe use a lot of milk.
It's phenomenal ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Oh, teacher, do you remember milk?
Yes.
Milk is a student in this class.
Oh, Milk. Yeah, is he still here?
No,
No.
I had eaten him, so he didn't hear.
Wait a minute. What happened, Alia? You were mean to him?
Yeah, like maybe
Oh,
I
Alia.
put him into a
Alia's a bully. All right. Hey, John, what do you think? Back to the Stinky Stadium, but this time it's on another planet with a super poisonous volcano.
Oh my.
Not bad, not bad. All right, Lewis, what would you like to write about?
I would like to write about the aliens in Mars.
Aliens?
Yeah, aliens in the Mars.
Okay.
Aliens.
On the moon.
The mall.
Hey, Lewis, do you know about those stories of aliens on the moon?
Yeah, I have read it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they saw UFO.
Yeah, did you know that?
UFOs. U stands for.
It stands for unidentified flying object.
Oh yes.
Nice. All right. Lewis, you could do that if you want.
Identify unidentifiable.
Hey, Tim, do you want to go back to this hiking in Vikings?
Oh, where we used the time machine to go to back to the Vikings time. It's between the 8th century and 11th century.
Nice. Tim, that's not a bad story idea. That could work, you know. All right. Hey, Tim, I read something about Vikings recently. You know, when they showed up in Paris, France, about 880 AD, they pretty much destroyed a kingdom there by a powerful ruler. And if they didn't come, France would have been so much more advanced so early on. And so the
teacher,
Vikings
Vikings has very weak weapons and armors. So we could beat them with laser guns.
Oh, laser guns. I don't know about that. Hey, John, what else do you want to say?
Okay, but this time it's on another planet with a super poisonous volcano. But there are aliens living on there, and they are about to see the big match between the super clever aliens and the super strong but unbelievably stupid monsters.
Not bad, not bad. I'm liking it.
Hey,
Ryoko, are you there, Ryoko?
Yes,
Ryoko, what do you think of all these crazy story ideas?
they seem really they seem good.
Pretty good. Not bad. Hey, Ryoko, do you have a story idea?
Let me see.
All right. You're having problems with your audio, so that's fine, Ryoko. I just wanted to check in with you. All right. Hey, Bone, what do you think? Mr. Bone, give us a story idea.
Let's see. It can be about aliens.
Aliens. You guys like your aliens because I put that rocket ship story. Now, Bone, do you think aliens smell bad or smell
Yes,
straight?
of course. They smell very stinky.
Okay, they smell bad. All right. Do you guys know the famous alien autopsy film that they claim? All right, I'm going to stop that here. I'll show you guys because we have about 4 minutes left. This guy made a film. They said this film has got to be fake. It can't be true. And they said the aliens smell bad because their bodies were burned when their spaceship crashed. All right. Alien autopsy, Roswell alien autopsy. Let's see. I don't want to get a super gross picture because you guys will be like, oh. So here's the alien, and let me see. Share the screen, and you guys can see it. Okay, so now this guy claimed that they had the body of an alien, but it had burn marks on it because the alien spaceship crashed. And they made this film, and someone looked at this film and they said, even if it's a fake, it's not true, that it would cost thousands of dollars to make this film. So whoever made this film as a hoax, like a big joke, that they spent a lot of money making this, right? So here's the alien who's all burned, and so that's why he smelled bad bone. But they're kind of interesting pictures. But I don't. Do you guys think these are true alien autopsies?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's true, it's probably in the top secret military thingy where none of us can get an idea.
This is true, Naked. Now, do you see that's the original newspaper from Roswell, New Mexico?
Oh, Roswell is in American.
Yeah, so they put the story that the Army, this RAAF is the American Army Air Force, and they put the story.
Teacher.
Disc, and then they changed the story. Yes.
The U.S. Army is about 3 million soldiers.
I know, it's a huge army. At the time it was. I think it's smaller now. But Tim, in World War II, it was pretty big. But the Russian army was 12 million guys at the end of World War II. They had a huge army. Some of you guys are interested in Russian military stuff. Okay, so you guys, the homework is you can write a fantasy story, or you can make it a true story if you want, but you guys love fantasy. And remember, if you write this story, just 2 paragraphs are okay. Some of you like 3 paragraphs or a whole page. That's okay too. Remember, the challenge level is whatever you want to make it for this class. If you're busy in school and can only do 2 paragraphs, that's okay. But some of you guys say, I need a whole page to put all my ideas down. And that's okay too, you guys. Like John and Nakin like to write long. So does just about everyone likes a nice long story. So it's okay to write long stories. But remember, try your best to put some. It's easy to see things in a fantasy, but what about the smell of the rocket ship, the smell of the astronauts' clothes? Like Tim, you were making a joke about the ghost of a Frenchman smelled like old dead garbage, right? Or dead meat or something, rotten meat, right? So I put that smelling in there so you guys could get some smell, some gross smells in the story, right? And then you could hear things too. You could hear things. So try to put in as many sense details as you can for the homework. Is that okay, you guys?
Okay.
Okay, and I look forward to your stories because you guys always have great stories, amazing stories. Spooky didn't join us today. Is Mr. Spooky here? I think Spooky maybe had some problems on the connection because of the typhoon. So
I'm of course I'm here.
Spooky, you're here. Hey, Spooky, would you like to read your story quickly? Because I didn't call on you today and I feel terrible about that. Can we do Mr. Spooky?
Yeah, literally 1 minute left.
Oh,
1 minute
okay.
left.
It will take 2 minutes. You could do the Spooky in 2 minutes. Let's just go down here to new messages. So, okay. The students in my morning class said, is Brendan okay? And they said, Brendan lives in Japan. I'm going to be okay, but in October we get bad typhoons. All right, here's Spooky story you guys will read for a couple of minutes and then we'll finish for tonight. And I'm sorry I didn't put your story up or call on you, Spooky. In Japanese, you say gomen nasai. So there's the part 3. Okay, here you go, Spooky.
It was just any ordinary day at school while the penultimate hour of school left had come. Every student may stay or either go to the library to do schoolwork. Some students inquired of the principal if they could go to the library. Most students were not having enough courage, so they could not have gone to their library. As for the result of their inquiry to the principal, only 21% of students in the school had the courage to enter the library, and after asking their super strict principal, even the teachers did not have enough confidence to stand up against the strict king of the school. After that, some people had made their choice to help the library possibility win the day. But with the help of the 8% of other students, the principal got angrier, but he never unleashed the truth. The principal made a deal with his inner self that he would close the library until the vote got over 50% in support of going there.
The next day at the noon meal, also called lunch, like students were hungry. The principal had made them go two times earlier just for nothing. The truth on the lunch, a mere 35 slices of pizza for the entire school of at least 250 students. It became apparent that the principal was not actually human. At the library again, the number in favor of entering the facility had increased to a huge amount of 89%. Students were every Students everywhere were locked into reading very interesting books. Then one of them, named Tommy, was the one who encouraged almost every student to enter the library. He sneaked everywhere to find the principal's private office, where he has a reminder reading. Defeat will come at 95%. So every student wanted that demon gone to enjoy the goods.
Enjoy the goods. Here you go. Here's the last part, Mr. Spooky.
As the next days build over, the truth has been revealed as the entire school entered the library. The school was no longer inside. The principal was no longer inside. He had been bested by 100% of the students. Thanks to Tommy, no one, oh, wait, no longer had to suffer pain from the principal. He was not just strict but evil. Teachers and students had taken many attempts to arrest him, but the police just got wary of the whole ordeal and claimed he was innocent. He is gone now. He tried to shut down the library, but Tommy used the lockpick to get inside and destroyed the switch to close it. Now it cannot be locked. Now it cannot be closed unless by another principal.
Nice work, Spooky. Hey, Spooky, what I really like about this story, you guys, did you notice? Spooky gives you these updates 21%. Then he goes to 50%. And then here he goes to 89%. So it builds this excitement as more and more students agree to go to the library for their free time. And if it gets to 95%, they know they can destroy the evil principal and enter the library. It gets up to 100%, and then everybody's in the library. Pretty cool story, Spooky. Hey, Spooky, is your principal at school really that evil?
It's actually just a made-up story.
It's pretty good. It's really good. I don't mean to laugh, but Spooky, it's a really kind of a cool story. What do you think, John? Destroying the principal to get into the library during their free time.
Pretty cool. And
very cool.
Pretty, what could I say?
Imaginative. It's all from Spooky's
imaginative, very fictional.
Very nice fiction, Spooky. Spooky, you have talent. Your mom said, "Is Spooky good?" I said, "Yeah, he's real good." It's really good. Hey, what do you think, Kalia?
The students destroyed the principal by smashing him into pieces.
Yes, with the power of the people. It's like a social.
The super stinky stadium.
What was it? All right, you guys, we have to finish because we're like 5 minutes late. Sorry about that. Have a great week and keep trying to write hard. You're doing a great job, Mr. Alia. Good job, Ellis 12 and Ellis 11. Nakin and Tim and Bone and Tom and Lewis and Dung and Alia and Bone and Ruyoko. You guys take care, okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, teacher.
Good luck,
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Bye, teacher. See you
Bye-bye,
next
Lewis.
week.
Again.
See you next week unless another storm hit Vietnam.
Okay, yeah, I hope there isn't another storm because those typhoons can come in groups of 2 and 3, as I remember. And you say back-to-back typhoons, so please be safe. All right, see you.